The following clip was captured inside the old Gila County Jail in Globe, Arizona, widely considered one of the most haunted locations in the state. Since its closure in 1981, the jail has become a hotspot for paranormal investigations and has even appeared on shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. One of the jail's most disturbing stories centers around a former inmate whose life ended inside his cell in 1911 while he was awaiting trial for the drowning of 2 young girls. In the days leading up to his death, he claimed the spirits of those girls were visiting him, tormenting him inside his cell. To this day, visitors report sudden drops in temperature, an overwhelming sense of dread, and faint sobbing near his former cell in cell block B. Over the years, guests and investigators have also reported being touched, scratched, or pushed by unseen forces, along with disembodied voices, unexplained footsteps, and loud bangs echoing through the second floor. On this particular night, a group of investigators set up a camera at the foot of one of the staircases. Watch closely.
I hear something in here now.
Whatever it is, we have to drive on this line.
Yep, oh, I guarantee we do.
Just hold on, we're not moving. You might need to walk through and see what's going on.
This voice is impressive on its own, but what makes it even more compelling is that one of our 2 investigators talking at the top of the stairs, discussing their worry about the rain, caught the same voice from one of their cameras. Take a listen.
You want to worry about those things.
Hey,
You might need to walk through and see what's going on.
here, Riley?
Yeah.
We let this video extend a bit longer to give you a comparison of the 3 voices heard in this clip, our 2 investigators' voices and the 3rd disembodied voice. To add to the mystery surrounding these stairs, less than 2 hours later, another camera at the top of these stairs automatically shuts itself off. Our team hurried to figure out what happened to the camera, realizing that we need to fix this unknown issue downstairs at base camp. This is what happened. After going through over 3 hours of footage, listening through the heavy rain and natural echoes through the prison, this voice is only heard twice. What are your thoughts?
Some believe it may be connected to the inmate whose restless presence is said to linger near the upper floors, while others think it could be something even older tied to the jail itself. It's moments like this that remind people why the old Gila County Jail continues to be an enigma, one that refuses to give up its secrets. Now this next clip comes from a guy named Chris, who regularly explores abandoned buildings with long, often unsettling histories. In this particular video, he's inside one of those locations alone, documenting the space when something strange is caught on camera. Watch closely.
Did you hear that? That was loud. What the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
At first, there's a loud bang that echoes through the building, sharp enough to make him freeze. Almost immediately after, you can see something shift in the frame, subtle but unmistakable. Chris later explains that in that exact moment, it felt like someone reached out and grabbed him by the shoulder. When this video surfaced, reactions were split. Viewers unfamiliar with Chris and his work were quick to dismiss it as post-production editing or a staged effect. But longtime followers pointed out that Chris doesn't usually sensationalize his footage, and that abandoned structures like this are often unpredictable, both structurally and otherwise. Whether it was something physical, something paranormal, or just a moment caught at the worst possible time, one thing is clear: whatever happened in that building left Chris visibly shaken. And for many who've explored places like this before, that reaction says more than the footage itself. In the following video, a man says he's been dealing with a persistent and unsettling feeling that someone is inside his house with him. And whenever that feeling hits, it's not subtle. His chest suddenly feels heavy, like the air around him has thickened, making it hard to breathe normally. He describes it as a pressure that comes out of nowhere, usually late at night when the house is quiet. One night, that same feeling returned. Instead of brushing it off, he picked up his phone, hoping to finally catch whoever or whatever was causing it. But what he ended up recording was something he didn't expect at all. Watch closely. After seeing this, he says he's now convinced that something is moving freely inside his home, aware of his presence, but careful about when it reveals itself. Some viewers believe this could explain the physical sensations he's been feeling, suggesting that intense fear or stress can manifest as chest pressure when someone senses danger. Paranormal investigators often approach situations like this in different ways. Some believe acknowledging the presence gives it strength, while others suggest setting firm boundaries, cleansing the space, or even temporarily leaving the home to break whatever attachment may exist. And then there are those who say that when your instincts keep warning you, when your body reacts before your mind does, it's not something to ignore. Because sometimes when your gut tells you you're not alone, it might already be too late to pretend otherwise. This next video is about Kyle, who has been living in this house for about a year and a half, and whatever is happening there has never stayed in one place. The activity seems to move freely through the home, starting in the crawl space, then shifting to the attic, later the garage, and now even the rooms where he sleeps. Kyle reports hearing children laughing in empty hallways, objects shifting when no one is near them, and sudden noises that don't repeat in the same location twice. Hoping to find a logical source, Kyle decides to check the attic himself, thinking maybe there's something hidden or overlooked that could explain everything. But what he finds only raises more questions. Watch.
Shit. Oh my God. Shit. Damn it. I'm hearing voices up here again. Yo. There's like a little kid laughing. Surely you heard that. Oh man, it's getting funny at this point. What the heck? I think some of y'all are right. I think ever since I put that ornament that I found up here on the Christmas tree, things have been a little wild. Happy holidays, I guess. Okay, maybe it's time to get out of here. I thought I was going to come up here and look around, see if I could find anything else, but we might have to... Maybe I just need to get a friend to come with me or something. Yeah, we'll see about that.
At first, Kyle believes he's only hearing voices, but if you look closely, a figure appears to be standing completely still directly in front of him. Some viewers also point out faint orbs drifting through the frame, and combined with the voices, many believe the attic was already fully active before Kyle ever stepped inside. Whether this is a single entity moving through the house or something far more complex, one thing is clear: the activity in Kyle's home isn't slowing down. Now in this next video, a man shares footage that many viewers say proves that renovating a house doesn't erase whatever energy is already there. Here's a bit of background. The house was originally built in 1949 and has gone through several renovations over the years. At the time this video was recorded, it was still occupied by an elderly woman, and the man in the clip would regularly come by to carry out remodeling work. But according to him, every time he stepped into the house, something felt off. He described sudden cold spots, the uneasy feeling of being watched, and no matter how long he stayed, he never felt fully alone. One day, while working in the basement, something happened right in front of him. Watch. Viewers were quick to point out that there's no obvious explanation for how it shifts the way it does. Some believe the age of the house plays a role, that decades of lived experiences, emotions, and unresolved events can leave something behind, especially in places like basements where energy is said to linger. Others think the activity could be tied to the former owner herself, or even the tension surrounding the home. Shortly after this was recorded, the elderly woman was moved into a nursing home and the house was put up for sale. According to the man, the family had already begun arguing over money and her will, creating even more unrest around the property. Whether it's residual energy from the past, something attached to the house itself, or just another unexplained moment caught on camera, this home seems to carry more than just its history, and whatever moved that chair may not be finished making its presence known. In this next clip, a family was settling in for the night, watching a horror movie called The Deliverance, a film inspired by the real-life 2011 Demon House case of LaToya Ammons in Gary, Indiana. Everything felt normal at first, just another scary movie night, until the atmosphere inside the house began to change. Right in the middle of the film, the power suddenly went out in the parlor. Almost immediately after, the family felt a heavy shift in the room, the unmistakable sensation that someone had just walked into the living room with them. Panicked, they went to their rooms, hoping whatever it was would stop there. But whatever entered the house that night wasn't finished. Watch.
Oh, hell no! Bro, Dude, what the? Oh, hell, you gotta go.
After this encounter, the family swore off horror movies completely. Many viewers believe films based on real events can stir up fear, emotion, and attention, things that some say act like an invitation. Others argue it's a coincidence, that the tension from the movie simply heightened their senses. But there are also those who warn that once something makes itself known, it doesn't always leave on its own. The real concern now is whether this was a one-time incident, or the beginning of something that plans to come back when the house goes quiet again. What do you think? Now, in this next video, a family's dog has been acting strangely, and what it reacts to has left viewers uneasy. Watch closely. The dog has clearly seen something no one else can see, but two details immediately stand out. First, the family doesn't seem overly concerned. They brush it off, suggesting the dog is simply acting out or responding to a random noise. And second, when the dog becomes more agitated, they shush it, a moment that made many viewers uncomfortable. A lot of people believe animals sense changes in their environment long before humans do, especially when it comes to unfamiliar presences or sudden shifts in energy. What makes this even stranger is that only one dog reacts. So, what do you think? An overreactive pet? Or the only one in the house paying attention? Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his solo exploration through the haunted buildings of Bonanzaville. Still inside the mansion, he enters one particular bedroom that many visitors say feels different from the rest. This is the room where people have reported seeing an imprint on the bed, as if someone is lying there even when the room is empty. It's also believed to be the very room where the mansion's owner, David, passed away. Watch closely.
Well, doesn't really look like it. David, did you die in this room? I heard you died of a brain hemorrhage, and I'm very, very sorry to hear that. Are you the one that leaves the imprint on the pillow? Could you do it right now? What the heck is that? What is that? Mom? Somebody downstairs? What the heck is that? It's like a jingling sound. What the heck is that? It's down there.
After leaving the room, Ian starts hearing unexplained sounds coming from downstairs. As he follows the sound, he captures something even more unsettling.
Wait a minute. Look at that. Dude, those things are freaking moving. Oh, hell no. Hell no. How is that even possible? Look at that. You're freaking moving like crazy. And that's her seance table. That's even more terrifying. Oh, God. How is that even happening? There's no air in here or anything. Oh, God. Look at that. They're still moving. Oh, what? Dude, this camera just died.
The crystals on the lamp begin swaying back and forth aggressively, far more than a draft or vibration could explain. What makes this moment even stranger is what happens next. As Ian approaches the table, both of his cameras suddenly die, despite showing full battery just moments earlier. Almost immediately, Ian begins to feel lightheaded, overwhelmed, and uneasy, sensations many investigators associate with intense paranormal encounters. Realizing something may not want him there anymore, Ian makes the decision to leave the mansion. Was this a warning, or something following him all along? You decide. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a guy is making a quick video to show his sister's fiance just how creepy the crematorium where he works can get after hours. What starts as a casual walkthrough quickly turns into something far more disturbing. Watch this.
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through now. I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out. This is crazy.
Now, crematoriums already carry a heavy atmosphere. The energy there is said to linger, trapped between the living and the dead. Some even believe places like this can absorb emotions, grief, pain, fear, and release them in strange ways. Others think the constant contact with the deceased could make it easier for spirits to attach themselves to the living, especially workers who spend long nights alone. Now, back to the guy in this video. He's convinced there's a ghost haunting this crematorium, and until someone gives him a better explanation for what he saw, he's not budging from that theory. So what do you think? Paranormal encounter, or something else? You decide. Now, this next video was captured at around 3:15 in the morning, And after what happened, there was no way the guy could go back to sleep. Watch this.
Estaba por entrar a mi casa, son 3:15 de la mañana, y la luz empieza a ser así, no sé. Sinceramente siento que hay alguien acá. No sé por qué lo presiento. Si te querés mostrar, mostrate ahora. Hay alguien sentado ahí. Hay alguien sentado.
Only people who've woken up to the sound of something unexplainable can truly relate to the kind of terror this brings. That feeling of being watched, of knowing you're not alone. And for this guy, it's not a one-time event. Strange things keep happening in his home, often at the same exact hour, like something's deliberately choosing that time to make itself known. But many who followed his story were relieved to find out it wasn't the Teddy this time. The same Teddy that's moved on its own in several of his earlier videos. But that only made people wonder, what if it was never the Teddy? What if whatever's in his home simply uses different objects to get his attention? Or worse, to toy with him? Some say he's dealing with a spirit that feeds off fear, while others think something darker might be attached to the house itself. Until he shares another update, what's really tormenting him remains a mystery. In the following clip, a woman named Jess shares a chilling story, one that's been haunting her for over a decade. Jess lost a close friend named Derek 13 years ago, and ever since then, he's never really left. No matter where she moves, strange things follow. Lights flickering, footsteps in empty rooms, objects shifting on their own. And in her new home, one she moved into just a few months ago, it seems Derek has somehow found her again. Watch this.
Mary, what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man. Stop me, dude. Calm down, Jessica. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's just Derek. It's just Derek. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek. What you doing, buddy? I miss you. Derek. What are you doing, buddy? You know I love you. You know I love you. Hey, Derek. Come on, you dumb... What the f...
Now, a lot of people believe Jess might be unknowingly holding on to something that once belonged to Derek, something personal that's keeping his spirit tethered to her. Others think Derek could be trying to communicate, perhaps trying to deliver a message she's missed for over 13 years, something that, once understood, might finally allow him to move on. But not everyone agrees. Some say she's making a dangerous mistake, that what she's experiencing isn't Derek at all, but something pretending to be him, using her grief to gain her trust. A few even suggested she check her attic, where energies tend to gather in old houses, and when she finally did, this is what she found.
Y'all wanted me to come up to the attic, okay? This is the wall that y'all saw some shit on. And these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? There's nothing up here that would have done anything. See? No window. No window. No windows. Nothing. Absolutely nothing up here. Other than like his toolboxes and a chair. I'm not going up here because it's too scary for me. But there are some mirrors, which is weird for an attic. A fan. See, there's no windows. This is my attic. There's nothing up here that could have done that shit. Alright, I'm getting the out of here because it feels weird.
So, is Jess truly being visited by the spirit of her old friend? Or something else wearing his face to keep her believing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at footage captured inside a daycare in East Tennessee, one that used to be an old church before it was converted. Watch this.
The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm just gonna let it play for you and then I'll give you the background.
See? Lights go off. Now watch. You're gonna see.
What you just saw was security footage that was sent to me by a woman who worked at a daycare in East Tennessee, Appalachia region. This daycare is actually a very old church that was turned into like a private daycare school. She said that events leading up to this, she was kind of having some weird experiences where she would be in her office after hours and would hear like people walking down the stairs, and then she would go check the stairwell and nobody would be there, or she would hear noises coming from classrooms and open up the door and see nothing. She said she would be the only one on the property at this time because she was in charge of like opening the daycare center, and then she would often stay after hours. So nobody was in the building when she was hearing these noises. On this particular day, she was opening the daycare. She went in that door that you saw at the end of the hall and noticed there was an iPad laying on the ground. This was really odd to her because these iPads are put into this like cabinet area that are hooked on like chargers. And she said they're very secure and they're like sitting up on charging decks, if that makes sense. She thought maybe an intruder came in or something, so she immediately notified the security officer who came and checked the camera footage. And that is the camera footage that you saw. Literally, the way that iPad just flings out of that cabinet is giving me chills right now. In the beginning, I feel like I also saw some kind of an orb object, but I've watched this video so many times and I feel like it's just unexplainable. Tell me what you saw in the video, if you saw the orbs like I did, or if you noticed anything else that's odd, and leave in the comments if you have any weird experiences like this.
The way that iPad flew across the room is hard to wrap your head around. Now here's a bit of context. The woman who shared this video works at the daycare and said there had been a series of strange occurrences long before this day. She'd often stay late in her office and hear what sounded like footsteps coming down the old wooden stairs, only to find no one there. Other times, faint noises would come from the classrooms after hours, toys rattling, drawers opening, whispers she couldn't quite make out. On the morning this footage was recorded, she arrived early and found one of the iPads lying on the floor. Now, she's the one who usually opens the daycare, so at that time, the building should have been completely empty, the iPads locked away in a cabinet as usual. Thinking it might have been a break-in, she called security. Omen people believe it's residual energy from when the building was still a church, that maybe the spirits of those who once gathered there never really left. Others think the conversion of the sacred space might have disturbed something that didn't want to be moved, but what do you think really happened inside that old daycare? In this next clip, a woman was walking down a quiet street late at night when her camera picked up something she couldn't explain. Watch.
Or the sub for you is going to be more. Everything's going up, but our wages aren't going up. Because I'm still seeing wages that are fucking pitiful on Indeed. Oh yay, I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? Looks like there was a figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a shadow, but take a closer look. The outline, the faint movement, and those glowing eyes staring straight at her. Some viewers think she may have caught a shadow figure, a manifestation often linked to dark energy or spiritual unrest. Others believe it's something far more physical, a creature that thrives in the dark, staying just beyond our understanding. There could be many other explanations for what she saw, like a trick of the light, an animal, or maybe something else entirely. But the idea that it could be something aware of her presence is what makes this clip so unsettling. Because if figures like this can move freely among us, unnoticed and unbothered, it makes you wonder what else is out there when the streets go quiet. So, what do you think she captured that night? And do you believe that some things walk among us, some seen and others we were never meant to see? Now, in this next clip, a woman named Keys has been dealing with strange activity in her home, the kind that keeps her up at night. But this time, she finally managed to catch something on camera. Watch this.
What is happening right now? First the door was moving, then I heard like talking, and then I keep seeing shadows. And for anyone telling me that I should go out there, yeah, why don't you go out there, please? Oh, it just opened and shut right in front of me. Oh man, I wish I could. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm freaking out. And before anyone comes at me, it's freaking the middle of October in Pennsylvania. It's freezing out, so I have no windows open. I have one fan that circulates throughout the whole room, and that door has never done that. Like, it's moved on its own, but never just like slammed shut like that. I can't believe I just caught that on camera. What the actual believe I just caught that. And of course I'm alone. Yay me. Fun times.
Whatever that was, it's not the first time she's seen it. Keys says things like this have been happening for months. Objects moving on their own, lights flickering even when the power's stable, and that unsettling feeling that someone's standing right behind her when no one is there. She's tried everything from cleansing rituals to changing rooms, but nothing seems to stop it. And now, after this footage, she's starting to wonder if whatever's haunting her house might be getting stronger. If you've ever experienced something similar, drop your thoughts below. What did you do to make it stop? Because at this point, Keys is running out of ideas and courage. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian visits one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This place has a long and unsettling history. Years ago, when it was still a sanatorium, a woman named Alice reportedly died during childbirth in the basement. Since then, people say her spirit never left. They hear her crying softly in the hallways at night, sometimes calling for her baby. But here's the disturbing part. During renovations, workers found skeletal remains of an infant sealed inside one of the walls. Many believe it was Alice's child, and she's not the only one said to haunt this place. Guests staying in room 1 often complain about their blankets being tugged off in the middle of the night, or waking up to the sound of faint breathing right beside them. On November 28, 2024, Ian decided to spend the night alone inside the Argo Hotel, hoping to capture proof of what's really happening here. Watch.
That sounded like a lady's voice, right there. I swear to God, I just heard that right behind me. Alice, is that you? She's that ghostly woman that they see wandering around. Could you say something again? I don't know if I'm just losing it, but I swear to God I heard that. I'm not hearing anything else. It's dead quiet. Alice, was that you I just heard? Whoa, whoa. There's something standing right over there. It was right behind that couch. There was something literally standing in that photo. It was like a mist or something. But I'm not seeing it anymore. It's completely gone.
So was that Alice still wandering these halls, or something else entirely? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, Kyle was filming, talking excitedly about publishing his upcoming horror novel, when something happened that instantly shifted the tone. Watch.
2 agents, they got enough for me. Holy shit. That just opened by itself. Okay. Yo, that just opened. It just opened by itself. We're gonna... And this broke. This broke. Okay, maybe that's for the best. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack. That string broke. Well, that's just fine because I'm never going up there again.
That door leading to the attic? It's the same attic where he's captured strange figures, unexplained bangs, footsteps pacing above his room, and even whispering voices when no one else was home. So when the door creaked open behind him in the middle of his recording, many viewers became convinced it wasn't a coincidence at all, that something up there was inviting him, or trying to get his attention. Others, meanwhile, are eagerly waiting for his book, especially because they know his stories aren't just fiction. A lot of them are based on real events, things he has personally lived through in that house. People are already speculating about which moments he'll write about, and how he managed to cope with everything he's been experiencing. But until Kyle gives an update, or until the release of that book, this remains yet another unsettling moment in a house that refuses to stay quiet. Now, in this next video, a woman named Monica Monch, who works after hours in an office building that's completely empty at night, holidays, and weekends, has been experiencing something she can no longer brush off. One night, while she was doing her usual rounds, this happened.
I'm at work. I'm the only person here. And I'm here. Oh my god, I'm scared. The scary movie says you don't go see what's going on. But what the I'm gonna lose my goddamn shit. Okay, I'm gonna die.
A voice said, "What are you thinking?" even though she was the only one in the entire building. And then there was the toy she picked up to inspect, thinking maybe it had batteries, but it didn't. It only makes noise if someone physically touches it. Yet in the video, it activates all on its own, as if an invisible hand was playing with it right next to her. This clip has caused a huge debate online. Some people are convinced Monica is dealing with something otherworldly, something intelligent. To them, a voice responding directly to her and a toy working on its own feels far too specific and intentional to dismiss as coincidence. And with the security guards reportedly hearing similar things, many believe whatever's in that office isn't just passing through, it's trying to communicate. But it's hard not to wonder if Monica has become the center of something she was never meant to notice. Until she shares more footage, this case remains a mystery. Now, this next video comes from a woman who recently ended things with her boyfriend, but according to her, the breakup didn't end the story. In fact, she believes it only made things worse. She claims her ex had something dark attached to him, something his family openly acknowledged. And once she heard them speak about it so casually, so normally, that's when she started connecting the dots. All the strange wiring issues in his house, the unexplained noises, the way objects moved on their own. She began to realize these weren't random incidents. They were signs of whatever the family had been living with for years. And then came the night captured in this clip, filmed while she and her ex were separated.
It's just sounding. What?
This wasn't the first time something happened, and definitely not the worst. She later talked about an incident involving his sister. One morning, the sister woke up to find her puppy dead, and every single plant in her house completely withered overnight. And when she herself was still living with her boyfriend, she experienced nights where the entire atmosphere of the house would change. Sharp cold spots appearing out of nowhere, doors creaking open even after she locked them, and shadows moving in corners where there was nowhere for shadows to be. Some nights, she said, it felt like something was walking from room to room, checking on them. And now that she's out of the relationship, she believes whatever was attached to the family has turned its attention toward her. Many call it a jumper, something that doesn't just haunt a single house or a single person, but moves. It attaches itself to whoever comes close enough, feeding off the conflict, the stress, the emotional chaos, and following them even after they leave. Whether it's because she spent years around it, or because it chose her, she doesn't know. But based on this footage and everything she's described, it seems like whatever was haunting that family isn't quite done with her yet. In this next video, two friends were at home, hanging out and playing games when they started noticing strange things. It started in the hallway, something that made both of them glance up from their game even though neither wanted to admit they saw it. Moments later, the chair in their room suddenly moved on its own, and that's when it hit them. Whatever they sensed in the hallway, it didn't stay there. People online are divided about what exactly was happening here. Whatever was in that hallway was watching them, reacting to them, and eventually stepping into the room with them. So, was it something intelligent, or something that simply didn't want to stay in the hallway anymore? You decide. The following footage was recorded on the first floor of West Hill Manor in Burlington County, a location already known for its long history of strange encounters. According to the group investigating the home that night, every single person was on the third floor when this happened. No one was downstairs, no one was even close. Watch closely. If you look toward the doorway on the right, you'll see it, a strange mist drifting across the frame. And then, just seconds later, a loud bang was heard from the 3rd floor. This is where things get interesting. It almost looks like the mist moves upward, as though whatever it was slipped out of the 1st floor doorway and traveled straight to where the sound happened. Many viewers immediately connected the two events, suggesting that the mist wasn't random environmental interference at all, but an apparition transitioning between floors. Some believe this might be a spirit that's aware of the investigators and is trying to make its presence known by traveling through the house and manipulating its surroundings. But the biggest question remains, was this mist responsible for the bang, or did it go upstairs because of the bang, as though reacting to something else entirely? Either way, the timing is too close to be ignored. Whatever moved through that doorway wasn't supposed to be there, and it definitely wasn't ordinary. I'd love to know what you think about this one. In this next clip, Ruger's mom was lying in bed when the strangest thing happened, something she genuinely couldn't explain later. Take a look at this, and listen closely.
Okay.
Her mom is clearly reaching out into the darkness, waving as if she's responding to someone standing right beside the bed. And if you listen closely, you'll hear a soft voice whispering, "Mama." According to Ruger, that voice sounds exactly like her sister's voice, the sister who passed away back in 2017. This is where the debate really begins. Some viewers believe this was a moment of comforting visitation, that her late sister might have been reaching out, maybe checking on their mother, and the mother somehow sensed her presence. They point out that the mother's reactions seem gentle, not startled. Others believe this could be something entirely different, something mimicking the sister's voice. Mimics are known for using familiar voices to draw attention or interaction, especially during vulnerable moments like sleep. The way her mom reached out without hesitation makes some people wonder if something wanted her to respond. Then there's the idea of sleep state sensitivity, where people in half-dream, half-awake moments are more open to the supernatural. Some say her mom could have been in a liminal state, aware enough to react, but relaxed enough to perceive things most people wouldn't. But I'll leave you to be the judge on this one. Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his deep dive into one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. And this time, the moment he stepped into one particular room, something sent him running. This wasn't just any room, it's the one rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a woman guests claim likes to brush against people while they sleep, almost as if she's checking whether they're awake, or if they're alone. Even Ian, who has seen more than most of us ever will, couldn't stand the room, but after catching his breath, he went back in.
There is proof that this hotel is ridiculously haunted. Alright, I should at least shut it off, shouldn't I? Don't want to waste the water. Oh god, okay. Don't mind me. Coming in. The freaking beat scared me. I'm sorry, bud. I'm gonna have to cut you off here. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? I am speechless. I don't even know what to say. Other than, I'm leaving a freaking camera in here. And I'm getting out of Dodge. That's all I know. Thank you. Alright, so I've got a spirit box here. I'm gonna walk around this whole entire floor and see if I can get any responses.
He spoke calmly, trying to communicate, trying to see if whatever was there would respond. A few moments later, he suddenly began hearing something.
Whoever's responsible for the phantom music in here, I'd love to hear some more of it. Could you place them in this room? Why is that spinning? Wait a minute, that thing wasn't even on. Why is it spinning? What the heck? Dude, this thing is freaking spinning on its own. And you can tell it's not even on because look at it, it's slowing down. Oh, what the heck? That is so freaking bizarre. And now look. It completely stopped. How do you explain that? Like, legit, like what just happened? If this fan was on, it would literally be spinning continuously. And if you look, let's see, are the switches on? Nope, they're both down. So what the heck just happened there? Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell was that? Dude, this room is crazy active. Those other rooms were completely silent, but this room, not this room. What the heck was that?
Every minute he spends inside this hotel keeps pointing to the same conclusion. This place isn't just haunted, it's active. And whatever's in that room seems more than willing to let him know he isn't alone. For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was shared by a woman who's genuinely searching for answers, hoping that someone out there might recognize the signs of what she's dealing with. For a while now, she's noticed a very specific and unsettling pattern involving her dog. Almost every single day, around the same time, her 6-month-old puppy suddenly starts barking intensely at one exact direction in the house. Not just casual barking, but focused, alert, almost defensive barking. What makes this strange is that about 5 minutes later, he suddenly stops, goes completely quiet, and then immediately looks around for her as if checking whether she noticed it too. This routine has repeated itself night after night, always the same direction, always the same behavior. One evening, she was sitting calmly when her dog climbed onto her lap, chewing on a bone, relaxed and content. Suddenly, this happened. Some believe he could be reacting to subtle sounds we can't hear, like changes in air pressure, pipes, or even wildlife outside the walls. But others weren't convinced, especially because of how consistent the timing is and how focused his attention seems to be. As for solutions, viewers offered a wide range of ideas. Some advised checking the space thoroughly for logical explanations, vents, rodents, or structural noises, just to rule them out. A few suggested cleansing the space, whether spiritually or simply by changing the energy in the room, while many stressed one thing above all else: pay attention to the dog. Because whatever he's reacting to it every night, at the same time, in the same place. And until she figures out why, this situation remains deeply unsettling and very much unexplained. This next clip was recorded inside Selma Mansion in Norristown, Pennsylvania, a location that many locals already avoid after dark. The mansion has long been surrounded by rumors, stories of former residents who never really left, reports of unexplained footsteps echoing through empty hallways, doors slamming on their own, and voices heard coming from rooms no one has entered in years. Some say the upper floors are the worst, especially the 3rd floor, where people claim the air suddenly feels heavier and breathing becomes difficult for no reason. On March 29, 2025, a group of urban explorers decided to investigate the mansion for themselves. Despite knowing its reputation, they went in prepared, setting up multiple cameras throughout the house before settling in for the night. While placing equipment in other areas of the mansion, a loud bang suddenly echoed through the building, sharp enough to stop everyone in their tracks. When they checked the footage, they realized the sound came from the bathroom on the 3rd floor, where one of the cameras had been left running. Watch closely. Skeptics argued it could be old pipes, structural shifts, or even wind, but that explanation doesn't easily account for the voice, the pacing of the footsteps, or the very human-sounding breath caught on audio. And considering this happened on the 3rd floor, an area already known for activity, many believe the explorers may have wandered into a space where whatever lingers there doesn't like being watched. So, was this just the mansion settling? Or did Selma Mansion make it very clear that they weren't alone that night? You decide. In this next video, a man believes he's being tormented by something far more sinister than a simple haunting, something he's convinced is a demon living inside his home. And honestly, after seeing everything he's documented, it's hard not to understand why he feels that way. For months now, he says he'll leave the house for work or errands, only to return and find it completely trashed. Tables flipped upside down, chairs thrown across rooms, kitchen equipment scattered across the floor as if someone deliberately went through the house in a rage. One night, while recording a video to explain what he's been experiencing, things suddenly escalated. Watch this.
Guys, so it's been very horrible. I have been experiencing some non-stop shit. You gotta be kidding me. What the shit? What the is that sound? What the Did I know they not just move? I know that they not just move, y'all. Shit! Oh shit! In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask every demon to leave my house immediately. Immediately. I want every demon to leave this house immediately. Immediately. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Leave my house now. The was that? I swear to God, and guys, this is crazy. Swear to God. What the shit! Holy shit! Oh shit! Holy shit! Holy I'm getting the out of here. No shit.
This isn't subtle movement or quiet noises in the background. When something moves, it moves hard. If it rocks a chair, it does so violently. If it rattles a door, it slams and shakes it with force. Viewers quickly began weighing in with their theories. Some believe this could be a case of a highly aggressive poltergeist feeding off fear and emotional stress. Others argue that the destructive nature, the escalation, and the way the activity responds directly to him speaking points to something darker, possibly a demonic attachment rather than a spirit tied to the house itself. As for solutions, people urged him to stop engaging altogether to avoid provoking whatever it is. Some warned that labeling it a demon could make things worse, but others believe he may already be past that point. So what do you think? Is this truly a demon, or is there another explanation behind the violence in his home? Now, doll collectors are often misunderstood. To most people, collecting dolls sounds harmless, nostalgic, even comforting. But what many don't realize is that some collectors actively seek out dolls with history. Dolls that were loved intensely, abandoned suddenly, passed through multiple owners, or tied to trauma. In this clip, a woman who openly documents her collection of dolls with deep and unsettling backstories shares what happened after acquiring a particularly infamous one. The doll is known as Raggedy Ann Janet, located in the UK and already surrounded by disturbing rumors long before she ever laid eyes on it. Previous owners had reportedly complained about unexplained noises, objects shifting, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched, especially at night. Despite the warnings, she felt drawn to Janet and eventually brought the doll into her home. Almost immediately, she began noticing classic poltergeist-style activity. Objects would move without explanation. Doors creaked open on their own, and the most unsettling part, these events didn't feel random. They felt deliberate, as if something was testing boundaries, pushing limits, and making its presence known. Despite knowing all these, she wanted to confirm.
So Janet's been with us for a few days. Bobby's dropped her off. A few things have been moving around this room lately. Janet, is it you that's doing it? Oh my god, thank you.
For her, the signs were enough. Janet wasn't just another piece in her collection. Something about this doll felt active, aware, and intrusive. And now the question remains, is Janet simply an object carrying residual energy from past owners? Or did bringing her home invite something that was never meant to follow? Either way, the activity surrounding this doll has left viewers deeply unsettled. And until more updates are shared, this case continues to raise an uncomfortable question about how much of the past we unknowingly invite into our homes. This next video is an update from the same man who previously shared how everything in his apartment changed the moment he brought a set of old toys home. Watch closely.
Se sigue escuchando, la verdad ya no soporto estar aquí. Ya no aguanto. ¿Qué será? No hay nada, raza. Esto ya se está saliendo de control, raza. Ya no puedo estar aquí, raza.
As he moves through the apartment trying to locate the source of the noise, a figure is briefly caught on camera. Even though something in him feels like the toys are connected, he wants clearer proof, something undeniable. But viewers say the signs have been there all along. For example, take a look at one of the nights he couldn't sleep at all.
Raza, son las 3 de la mañana, se siguen escuchando muchos ruidos allá afuera. Quieren abrir la puerta, raza. ¿Qué está pasando? Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío, líbrame del mal. Desde que compré ese espejo, raza. Ay.
What worries him the most is that whatever's in his apartment doesn't seem anchored to a single location. It chooses different areas, almost like it's rotating spots. One night, it was his bedroom. Watch.
Se escucha que están rasguñando abajo de la cama. No hay nadie, raza, a la madre. ¿Qué rollo? ¿Qué está pasando?
Something was scratching under his bed, and while some suggested the mirror near his bed could be acting as a trigger, that theory started to fall apart after this next clip surfaced.
Quieren prender la luz, raza. Esto está saliendo de control, raza. No se escucha que le pegan al tanque allá afuera. Esto se está saliendo mucho de control, raza. No sé qué está pasando, la verdad, raza. Pero a ese tanque le pegan. Ya es el segundo día desde que están pasando estas cosas y alguien que me pueda ayudar, déjenme en los comentarios, por favor. Gente, esto ya se salió de control, gente. Ya no puedo más aquí, gente. Ayuda. ¿Qué quieres? Déjenme en paz. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Qué quieres?
At this point, the activity is no longer subtle. The voice he hears at night is clearer and deeply unsettling. He's reached the point where he locks himself in one part of the apartment at night, afraid of what he might encounter if he walks into another room. And what makes this even more disturbing is the pattern. Whatever's in the apartment seems to choose where it stays. For days it stayed in the kitchen, then it shifted to the laundry room. Now it appears to have claimed the bathroom.
Están tocando la puerta del baño. Desde que compré estos pedos están pasando todas las cosas. Mamá.
He's asking for help, desperately, but most viewers are saying the answer is already right in front of him. Get rid of the dolls. But is it really that simple? Are the dolls the source? Or are they just vessels for something that was already looking for a way in? In this next clip, a woman named Haley set out on what was supposed to be a calm, grounding escape into the Appalachian wilderness, a place known for its beauty, isolation, and deeply rooted folklore. But not long into her walk, something felt off.
I just realized this is like the perfect place to come and sit and smoke. Cause look at this. Sit right here. Hell yeah. This is my view. Y'all, a cigarette right now. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but it warm you up, you know? I'm cold. I felt like there's somebody behind me, but so this is as close as I'm going to get, but y'all can see it's like angled and it goes into the mountain. It doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit more deeper here. My feet would get wet and these shoes, yeah, no, and it's cold. But yeah, I'm about to head out of here because my feelings been, I don't know, it don't feel right now. But yeah, I don't have service. No, this is the worst part about exploring here is when you get like that, when you get the feeling that you're being watched or followed. You can't, it's a little bit of a ways to get back to where you came from. Over there.
If you listen carefully, a voice can be heard quietly saying, "Hey." What makes this moment especially unsettling is that the voice sounds disturbingly similar to Haley's own. At the time she was recording, she didn't hear it at all. Instead, what she felt was something harder to ignore, a sudden sensation that someone was standing directly behind her. In paranormal folklore, especially in Appalachian legends, encounters like this are often linked to something known as a mimic, entities said to imitate human voices to lure people into responding. That's why many believe the worst thing you can do in situations like this is acknowledge the voice, especially out loud. Responding is believed to give whatever's their permission, or at the very least confirmation that you heard it. Some say mimics rely on familiarity, using your own voice or the voice of someone you trust to lower your guard. Others believe they test boundaries first, watching how you react before escalating, and then there are those who think these encounters aren't meant to chase you, but to mark you. So, was this just an audio coincidence paired with anxiety in an isolated place? Or did Helene narrowly avoid something far more disturbing by trusting her instincts and leaving when she did? I'll leave you to be the judge on this one. The following video is about a lady named Savannah, who's now in serious need of help, because it's starting to look like she's living through a real-life paranormal phenomenon. For months, she's been dealing with things she can't explain. Footsteps pacing around her room late at night, objects disappearing and reappearing in different places, her closet door cracking open on its own, and the overwhelming sensation that someone is standing right beside her whenever she tries to fall asleep. But things escalated the night she swore she felt something sit on her chest while she slept. And what truly pushed her to her breaking point was when she heard something in the darkness, mimicking her voice, calling her cat. She screamed, thinking she was losing her mind. Then she eventually set up cameras. What you're about to see is a compilation from different nights, everything her camera captured. Watch.
What?
Some nights, small objects would shift and slide across the room as if nudged by invisible hands. Other nights, something would crawl underneath her blanket, pressing against her legs as she slept. There were moments where her cat would freeze, stare at the corner of the room, and suddenly jump as if something tried to pick it up. And on the worst nights, she'd wake up feeling a tight pressure around her foot, like something was slowly trying to pull her off the bed. She's already blessed her room, she's placed crosses around her apartment, she's tried cleansing, prayers, everything. But whatever is there doesn't seem to care. Now she's asking for help, because at this point, she's genuinely afraid of what might happen next. If you have any suggestions, now's the time to share. Who knows, your comment might be the solution she's been searching for. In this next clip, a paranormal investigator decided to explore an old crematorium, and after what he experienced there, he says he won't be going back anytime soon. Watch this.
This is crazy.
Crematoriums already have a chilling history. These are places where countless families said their final goodbyes. Places where bodies are prepared, tagged, and stored before the final process. And in older crematoriums, especially those that have been shut down for years, many say the air never really loses that heaviness, as if the walls themselves remember everything they've seen. Some former workers claim that late at night, before closure, they'd hear metal trays shifting on their own, or doors to the furnace room slamming despite no draft. Others swear that once a body is cremated, the spirit doesn't always follow immediately. Sometimes it lingers, confused, or attached to the place where its physical form spent its final moments. Strange noises in an abandoned building are one thing, but inside a crematorium, with that history, this is the kind of place you enter once, and then decide it's better not to return. Now, in this next video, a mother named Christy has been dealing with something that's starting to unsettle her in ways she can't explain. For days now, she's noticed a strange pattern. She'll be talking to her little boy, something simple, everyday conversations, and suddenly he'll stop mid-sentence, freeze, and stare off toward a very specific part of the house. No blinking, no reacting. Almost like he's watching something move that she can't see. At first, she brushed it off as childish distraction, saying kids zone out all the time. But it kept happening, and each time, his eyes went to the same direction. One evening, while she was prepping dinner, he did it again. Only this time, he wouldn't stop pointing toward the dining room, repeating the same thing over and over with a strange calmness that made her skin crawl. Watch this.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in a tiny room.
What is
I
it?
see something in a tiny room.
Where is it?
Perhaps. You're too rude.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's the hat. See, look, I'm opening it. Hey, I'll open this one. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my eye.
What?
What's in my side on the hat? To my side on the hat. To my side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a vaccine pudding on a. I see a vaccine pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A vaccine pudding in a hat.
Imagine your own child saying something like that, with that kind of certainty. Christy finally took him to the dining room to figure out exactly where this thing was supposed to be. It turned out to be a picture hanging on the wall. But here's the part that's confusing her the most. That picture has been there for months. He's walked past it hundreds of times, eaten dinner right across from it, played near it. and it has never bothered him, so why now? Some people think kids are naturally more sensitive, and maybe he's suddenly picking up on something attached to the photo, an energy, a memory, or a presence that wasn't active before. Whatever the case is, something about that picture has clearly changed. And until she gets more answers, this one remains unsolved. The following video was captured outside an Argentinian hospital. A man had just finished visiting someone and was heading back to his car when he suddenly heard a loud bang. Thinking maybe someone needed help or that something had fallen, he walked toward the sound. But when he got there, the place was completely empty, so he headed back to his car. And that's when he noticed this. Watch.
Estamos en este momento en el microhospital, escuchamos un golpe y nos dimos vuelta porque dijimos, bueno, ¿quién está entrando? Cuestión de que no hay nadie atrás nuestro. Y miramos dentro del auto y dijimos, oh, pues si el auto... ¿Qué mierda es? Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir. O sea, no... Un miedo, la puta madre. Lo peor de todo es que se mueve adentro del auto y no hay nadie. O sea, ahora vamos a ir a controlar el auto. Pero parece como si fuese un reflejo. La puta madre. No, huevo. Ya, salimos rápido para que vean que no es mentira. Mamá, la piel de gallina, hermano. Piel de gallina. Cagazo. Nadie. Nadie. Un montón. Es un montón. Mierda. Y encima nos mira la puta que te parió. No, chabón. No. Desapareció. La concha.
The moment he saw what was sitting in the back seat, you can tell his entire body reacted. When he lifted his arm to the camera, you could literally count each hair standing straight up. That's not something you fake, that's a full body fear response. But what really got people talking were the details, especially the movement of the face. Whatever was in that car wasn't a reflection, and it definitely wasn't a person hiding inside, because he didn't even take the camera off the car until he reached for the door. And when the head suddenly ducked behind the driver's seat, yeah, reflections don't do that. Now, here's where this gets even more unsettling. This didn't happen in just any location. It happened right outside a hospital, a place where people pass on, where emotions run heavy, where many believe spirits linger the longest before moving on. So the real question is, what exactly entered that car? And why did it wait until he was alone? This one remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a lady's dog has been acting out ever since she got a new truck. At first, she thought it was nothing. Maybe he just wasn't familiar with the sound or smell. But the more she paid attention, the more unsettling things became. Have a look.
What is it? What is it? Bud, there's nothing over here.
After watching this clip, some people said it could be the tires. Maybe the rubber was warm, maybe the scent was strange to him. But then a different wave of comments rolled in, questions that made the whole situation feel a lot darker. People started asking whether the truck was actually new, if she knew anything about the previous owners, or if the truck had ever been involved in an accident, because dogs don't usually whine like that unless they're reacting to something they don't understand, or something we can't see. She eventually came forward with an update that surprised everyone. The truck is brand new, and she's already checked underneath, inside, and around the engine for any animals or signs of something stuck. Yet, Titus still behaves like this. She also revealed that ever since she brought the truck home, Titus has never agreed to get inside, not even once, and honestly, the comments weren't helping either. People began warning her that dogs can sense what humans can't, and that her dog might be reacting to a dangerous spirit attached to the vehicle. Some even went as far as saying that if she doesn't get it blessed, she could end up in an accident. One morning, Titus wanted to check the garage again, barking and whining in a way she'd never seen before, so she followed him, camera in hand, and here's what she caught. At this point, she has no idea what she's dealing with anymore. And honestly, none of the explanations so far feel comforting. So what do you think? Is Titus reacting to the smell of the tires? Is there a spirit attached to the truck? Or is there something else we're missing? Something that ties all these events together? Now, this next video captures something most people fear more than any regular haunting: a mimic. Mimics are the type of entities people describe as intelligent, calculating, and frighteningly good at imitating the voices of people you know and trust, usually to lure you closer or get you to respond. One afternoon, a lady was home completely alone when she suddenly heard this coming from inside her house. Watch.
Are you there, honey? Open the door for mommy. Bella. Come out. Bella.
The moment people heard that voice, the comment section exploded. Not because of the sound itself, but because of the way she reacted. She didn't panic, she didn't call out, she didn't ask who's there. She stayed absolutely silent. And for good reason. Because when it comes to mimics, the #1 rule everyone repeats is, do not respond. Responding means you're already playing its game. So the fact that she stayed completely quiet is what everyone agrees might have kept this from going much further. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration at Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of old, fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. In the last video we posted, Ian entered the Telephone Museum, but this time he went to the Brass Rail Saloon in the Page Hotel, said to be one of the most active buildings on the entire property. Built in 1889, this place used to be a bustling stop for travelers, food, liquor, music, rooms upstairs, the whole deal. But today, it's known for something else entirely. Voices that shouldn't exist, footsteps pacing empty rooms, and unexplained noises that seem to follow anyone who dares explore the second floor alone. Watch this.
Could you do that again? If there's anyone in here, I invite you to come sit with me. I just want to get to know some of the people that are here. I hear that there's a lot of spirits in this building. Could you walk up to this table and sit down with me? I mean, I didn't bring any cards or anything, but I mean, if you've got some, I don't know if you can in the afterlife, but feel free to sit on this table here. Whoa. I just heard that chair move. Holy moly.
Unfortunately, he had his infrared light pointing directly at the camera, making the chair in front of him impossible to see. But the moment he stepped out of that room, something else happened.
Is there anybody in here? Whoa. That came from in there. I think I might have heard somebody in here. Is there anyone in here? Whoa! Oh my God! It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna run. Did you just tap on that bed? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. That scared the living daylights out of me. Holy moly. Dude, that was a freaking voice. I heard it so clear on this voice recorder. Oh, it was a female. It was a female voice.
Ian was almost convinced there had to be someone else inside the building with him, but the footage says it all. He was completely alone. So the question is, who or what answered Ian that night? And why is her voice still echoing through a building that hasn't hosted a living guest in over a century? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a man who's been complaining about strange occurrences in his home, claiming it's haunted, finally managed to capture something that might prove he's not imagining things. For months, he's told his landlord about what's been happening, but no one's ever taken him seriously. No proof, no evidence, just his word. But that changed one night when he woke up to a strange sound coming from outside. His first thought? The ghost is back. So this time, he grabbed his phone, determined to catch it in the act, and stepped outside to see what was going on. Watch this.
Oh my God, cái gì? Mất từng tay con chị tí ốc lên. Oh my God. Wow. Tao lên bị cái tụi này mà.
After recording the video, he immediately sent it to his landlord, hoping this would finally convince them something was off. He also shared it with a few friends, and before long, it was online for everyone to see. The comments that followed were a mix of sympathy and humor. Some joked that maybe the ghost was just helping out, but others pointed out something far darker. That perhaps a former tenant once lived and died there, and what the man captured wasn't a haunting at all, but the spirit replaying fragments of its past life, doing the same things it did before it passed. If that's true, then the man's nightly disturbances might not be a haunting out to scare him, but a restless echo of someone who simply doesn't realize they're gone. Hopefully, his landlord takes him seriously this time. Now, this next clip was recorded by a CCTV camera inside a shop, and what happened in it continues to stun everyone who's seen the footage. Watch this. At first glance, it looks like a normal night, nothing unusual, but then things start moving on their own. Items shift, fall, and one object in particular floats up off the counter, hovers for a moment in midair, and then drops straight to the floor. That's the moment everyone froze. Many people who've seen this footage tried to come up with logical explanations. Some say it could have been a mild earthquake or vibration, but no one's ever seen an earthquake lift something upward and keep it suspended like that before. Whatever happened in that shop that night, it's enough to make anyone question what they thought they knew about the world around them. So, what do you think? Did the camera capture something paranormal, or is there another explanation that we just haven't figured out yet? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next video, two roommates share their increasingly creepy situation. For a while now, they've been dealing with things that go far beyond what they can explain, and most of it seems to happen inside their garage. On some days, they'd hear loud banging sounds or tools clattering on their own, as if someone was working in there late at night. On other days, the lights would flicker violently, and the sound of something dragging across the concrete would echo through the house. It used to happen randomly, maybe once or twice a week, but now it's become a daily occurrence. So they decided to install a camera to finally see what's going on. Watch this. It's one thing to wake up to strange noises and find nothing there, but what the camera caught the second time made their skin crawl. One of the chairs in the garage was suddenly launched onto a couch. The couch is just out of frame, but if you look closely, you can see the chair move violently. Considering everything they've already endured, the constant noises, flickering lights, and movement when no one's around, it's hard to brush this off as mere coincidence. In the following clip, a lady named Jess wakes up early one morning to strange, unsettling sounds coming from her attic. Take a look.
It's okay, Booty. It's okay.
Nope. Nope.
She was home alone with her 2 dogs. Kaiser was in the living room, and Butavius, her smaller one, was whining nervously beside her. When people online asked why she didn't go up to check, Jess had the perfect answer. In her words, that's how people get killed in horror movies. Y'all might have the courage to go look, but I don't. She explained that although she didn't necessarily feel any dark or negative energy that morning, she wasn't about to take chances either. Now, here's where things get interesting. Her attic doesn't have any windows, just a large old mirror that's been up there since she moved in, and according to Jess, people had warned her to get rid of that mirror long before anything strange even started happening. But lately, it's become almost routine. Every morning around the same time, she wakes up to banging and the sound of footsteps pacing above her. So, what do you think Jess is dealing with? Could that mirror be acting as a portal, reflecting more than just her image? Or is there something else hidden in that attic that's been trying to get her attention? You decide. In this next video, a woman is quietly breastfeeding her baby when something truly disturbing happens. Watch.
Louie? Wil je naar de kamer? Als je naar dit niet was in de kamer, was er inderdaad niet erin gekomen? Ja. Ja? Nee.
If you look closely, the yoga ball by the left side of your screen, which had been perfectly still for several minutes, suddenly starts to move. Not a gentle roll, but a slow, deliberate shift, almost as if someone or something gave it a subtle push. According to her, she felt an icy chill at that exact moment, like someone had entered the room, watching her. Some people believe what she caught on camera wasn't random movement, but a spirit trying to draw her attention, maybe even jealous or drawn to the baby. She insists the windows were closed, there was no draft, and no one else was home. So whatever moved that ball, it didn't want to be ignored. Now, in this next video, Monica Monge works after hours, meaning she's on duty when the office is completely closed on holidays and weekends. But recently, her late night shifts have taken a very disturbing turn.
Here we go again. I don't know what the hell. The lights keep going on and off. Oh. Okay. I have to go upstairs. I don't know. That sound was at the same time as the light went on. Okay, it could be an electrical thing. Doesn't have to be scary. I don't know what's happening. I'm not scared, but Okay, so I'm at my desk now and the lights went out. They were going on and off when I was downstairs. I was able to capture it one time. I'm not scared. I'm over it actually. I'm super irritated. I'm hearing shit, I hear whispering and humming. I'm about to go over there. Ugh. I'm not scared, but just super irritated. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm not scared. Okay. How do I turn the camera around? Okay. I fumbled on the phone. I'm not scared. I heard humming. I'm gonna open that closet again. I'm not afraid. Nothing can hurt me. There it is. Nothing. What? I don't know what the heck. I had the security guard leave the light on for me in this room. And
you can clearly hear it, a soft humming, almost like a child singing a playful tune somewhere down the hall. Then a faint voice says, "What are you doing?" The flickering lights, the sudden power surges, it's enough to make anyone's skin crawl. According to Monica, she isn't the only one who's experienced this. Both security guards have also reported the same eerie humming and even voices coming from the empty cubicles. That night, after Monica left, one of the guards texted her saying a small toy pumpkin had been mysteriously moved to their station. When she was later asked if those toys were donated, she said yes. Some now believe one of those toys might carry a lingering attachment, maybe from a child who once owned it, one who never truly moved on. Others think the toys are acting as conduits, holding residual energy that wakes up when the building is quiet. But I'll let you be the judge on this one. In the following video, we meet Melody, a woman caught in a deeply unsettling situation that's been escalating fast. For weeks, she's been complaining about her back door opening on its own. Friends told her it was probably the wind, so she decided to test it by placing a heavy brick against the door. But what happened next was terrifying. By the next morning, the brick was gone, completely vanished, and the door was wide open. Later that day, she received a text message from an unknown number that read, "Stop ignoring. Is the brick still by the shed?" Moments after, her phone buzzed again with a chilling voicemail. A distorted, almost inhuman voice whispering something she couldn't fully make out. But that's not even the first strange thing that's happened. Just days earlier, this happened.
Okay, this might be nothing, but the timing is just not it. It was my birthday, right? And I got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know, that's not weird because it's me, okay? They die. No note. So, and I figured, you know, when it's my birthday, someone's gonna call or text me and be like, "Happy birthday, did you like my flowers?" That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out. Hold on. Back to the story. So today when I get home, okay, yeah, I leave a note.
If you look closely behind her, a dark, almost human-like figure seems to appear in the background for a split second before vanishing. Now, with the missing brick, the creepy text, the eerie voicemail, and the way her dogs bark uncontrollably at empty corners, Melody's beginning to feel like she's being watched. Some believe the figure could be tied to the property, maybe a previous resident or someone who once lived nearby. Others think it's something darker, possibly using electronics to communicate or mimic human behavior. And a few have even suggested the flowers left by her shed could be part of some kind of ritual offering. Whatever it is, Melody's story is growing stranger by the day, and until she shares more updates, this one remains an unnerving mystery. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. After running out of rooms where strange, unexplainable things had already happened, Ian pushed further into the building, determined to make sense of everything he'd seen so far. But what he didn't know was that the next room would add to the mystery. Watch this.
Right there, with the bead curtains. That's the door they literally had to remove because guests were getting freaked out. Well, it seems like they're gonna have to remove this door too, on top of it. If there's anyone in here, could you show yourself? Oh, I'm getting orbs. And so, in this photo here, they're floating around. Oh, there's like a bunch of them. Is that you I'm seeing? There's one floating over by the door, the bathroom door. Are you standing by this bathroom door here? Whoa, whoa. Those are moving. Those are moving. Oh my God. How are those moving right now? Is there some kind of like air current over here? I don't feel anything. There's no drafts. Nothing. No central air. Who's in here? Who just moved these beads? Talk to me. I'd just like to speak to you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I swear to God, I just heard a freaking whisper behind me. It sounded like it came from this room. If that was you, could you say that again? Oh my God. Oh, that startled me. Holy crap. That echoed from in here now.
He calmly called out to any spirit that might be present, and then everything went completely still. No movement, no sound. That sudden, unnatural silence made him uneasy, enough that he decided to leave the room. But before stepping out, he set up a camera, hoping to capture whatever might happen once he was gone. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a lady with an unusual hobby, collecting haunted dolls, and they're not just for display. According to her, each doll carries the spirit of a person who once lived, and her goal is to communicate with them, to understand their stories and share them with her audience. She even claims to have traced one of the spirits to its actual grave, naming each doll after the person believed to be attached to it, almost like preserving their memory through these objects. One day, during one of her live sessions, something happened. Watch.
There's nothing out there. Even the cats are confused. We have had scratching on the wall before. We've had scratching on the wall before. That's, unless she does it too, but that's always my wall scratching. I have wall scratching a lot. This is like a regular thing in my house. Usually Deanna, but I don't know why. Done now.
Some of her followers actually support what she's doing, saying she's giving these restless spirits a voice, helping them find peace, and treating them with respect instead of fear. In fact, many of her fans have developed the same fascination, even reaching out to her for recommendations on which haunted dolls to get and how to connect with them safely. But not everyone sees it that way. Others warn that she could be inviting dark or deceptive entities into her home. Spirits that pretend to be harmless but might grow more aggressive over time. Some even fear she's accidentally creating a portal that could attach itself not just to her, but to anyone watching her live streams. But what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. In this next clip, an explorer visits one of America's most notoriously haunted sites, the Ohio State Reformatory. With over 200 recorded deaths within its walls, it's said the building still holds on to the pain, violence, and despair that once filled its cells. Also, the massive echoing cell blocks are rumored to be crawling with activity, and visitors claim to have seen shadowy figures drifting from one cell to another, heard faint snoring when no one else was around, and felt a crushing sense of dread the deeper they went inside. But perhaps the most feared spot of all is what locals call the chair room, a small, bare chamber believed to house a particularly malevolent entity. Those who dare to taunt or challenge the spirit often leave with unexplained scratches or bruises, as if something invisible lashed out at them. While exploring different sections of the prison, this explorer captured something chilling on camera. Watch.
What the? That's some creepy ass shit. Hold on, no, I want to see this shit. And none of this. I am.
After posting the footage, others who had visited the reformatory began flooding the comments, sharing different encounters, strange sounds, sudden cold spots, and the overwhelming feeling that someone, or something, was watching them from the darkness. Now, in this next video, a man named David has been living through something absolutely terrifying for the past few days, and it's hard to explain what's really going on. Take a look.
I'm home alone. I'm hearing my own voice upstairs. The door won't stop knocking, and there's nobody there. This door keeps banging. I thought I was hearing my voice. Nobody's there. Go away! Open the door. Ooh, that was right over my shoulder. Who's I'm giving you one chance to leave. I know what you're doing. It's not scaring me. It's not scaring anybody else. You need to leave now. Yeah, I got a feeling you're in this room, aren't you? Are you in here? This again. Okay. All right. If you're gonna play these games all night, I'm not gonna play. I'm not doing this. And now I hear the bathroom water on. Good grief. Get out.
At first glance, some might think this could be someone messing with him. But then, how is it possible for one person to be in different places at once? Doors slamming in separate rooms within seconds of each other, the doorbell ringing, a voice mimicking him from somewhere inside, and that strange image that appeared right at the door? Some people believe David could be dealing with a poltergeist, a spirit capable of manipulating sound, movement, and even imitating voices to confuse its target. Others think it could be a residual haunting, where intense energy from past trauma replays over and over. Doors banging, sounds echoing, like time itself repeating. But then there are those who say the mimic voice and that eerie image at the door suggest something far darker, an entity pretending to be human, trying to lure him closer. But what do you think David's really dealing with? In the following video, a man named Ethan steps outside after hearing soft meowing at his doorstep, only to find a stray cat sitting quietly outside. But what really rattled him wasn't the cat, it was what he saw next. Watch.
Oh gosh. So we got the stray cat out here, right? Now checking on it. This thing's cute as f. And I look up. This shit. What the f? I'm gonna go look over. You know, real quick. Y'all see it? Oh, y'all see that shit though? Is this disappearing?
There are a lot of angles to look at this from. Could it be that someone intentionally left the cat there, waiting to see if he'd come out? Or could the cat itself be something else, or maybe just a pawn, used as a distraction for something far more sinister? Others think the cat might have even been possessed or influenced, perhaps drawn to the energy of something already lingering around his home. Another theory is that the cat wasn't there to lure him, it was there to warn him. And then there's the most unsettling part, the man standing in the distance. If we're being honest, none of these possibilities sound comforting. In fact, each one is its own kind of nightmare. But here's where it gets even stranger. Before the whole cat situation, Ethan had already been dealing with something creepy in his basement. Watch this.
I'm in the basement. I'm about to talk to this ghost or whatever it is. It's pretty scary. If you can't tell, my basement is scary as hell. But let's talk to it. Is there anybody in here? If you're in here, show yourself. Oh no, y'all see that? What the f? Hell no. Is that a f? Oh f. Oh hell no, hold up. Hold up. Is anybody in here? Oh hell no, I'm out. I'm out this place.
After people saw this clip, they started to take the entire situation more seriously. Some even advised him to try communicating with whatever presence might be connected to it. So one night, when he heard heavy footsteps circling his property, Ethan grabbed his rifle and stepped outside to confront, or maybe speak to, whatever was out there. This is what he saw.
So I got told to go talk to it. So I'm gonna go talk to it. It's dark as I can't see shit. I see a few trees. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's dark as yeah. And scary as hell. Oh, hell no. What the f is that? What the f? Oh no.
Whatever he captured that night left more questions than answers. Theories range from a human intruder playing psychological games to a spirit trying to manifest physically, or something darker that defies explanation altogether. But since that night, his account went silent, so until he provides updates or someone finds out what really happened, this case remains an unsettling mystery. In this next clip, a woman who recently bought an old house built in 1917 believes she's sharing her home with a ghost. Though, according to her, it's not a threatening one. The only reason she and her family installed cameras was to capture whatever happens when they're not around. One afternoon, while she was home with her daughter, the little girl suddenly called out, saying she heard a ghost inside the vent in the bathroom. Curious, the woman followed her in. Then, her daughter said, "Ghost, if you're here, do something." And almost immediately, they heard a loud sound coming from the kitchen. This is what the camera caught. Ever since she bought the house in 2023, she says at least 2 childlike spirits have revealed themselves, sometimes through soft giggles or the sound of running across the hall. And while she insists they're harmless and even protective of her daughter, not everyone agrees. Some viewers believe it's dangerous to assume that any spirit, especially one interacting with a child, has good intentions. Others think it could be something pretending to be innocent, something trying to earn their trust. Still, she remains calm and welcoming, saying the house feels peaceful. But is it really? Or could this be the calm before something much darker reveals itself? I'll leave you to be the judge of this one.